And welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Tuesday, April 11th of 2023. We are in the 13th chapter of the book of 1 Corinthians. We've been working our way through 1 Corinthians for a little while, and we are in the 13th chapter, not the third, oh my word, 13th chapter. It's the chapter of love, and I had mentioned it yesterday, and I apologize, yesterday's video was a little long, so for those that watched it all the way through, bless you and thank you. Today we're going to break the rest of this chapter into two. I was planning to take it as one big bite, but we're going to break it into two to try to keep this video short, and tomorrow's short. But this is the love chapter, and we use this verse, as I mentioned yesterday, or these verses a lot in weddings. We use them a lot in funerals when we talk about love, and a lot of times love is what remains at a funeral. So it is a great verse, they are great verses. I can't talk, forgive me. They are great verses for a funeral. I have a little more coffee, see if it gets me through this. All right, so we're going to look at just verses 4 to 7 today. So just a little nibble today. So let's take a look at those and then we'll talk about them. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. It is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And that's one we do use this a lot in weddings, and it's kind of setting you up for a high bar, isn't it? When we look at our relationships, are we always patient? Are we always kind? Are we never jealous? Are we never boastful? Are we never arrogant or rude? Do we always insist, or do we never insist on having our own way? We're not supposed to insist on having our own way. It's not irritable. Are we, oh my gosh, I'm in massive trouble here. Or resentful. That was one of that was a big part of the destruction of my first marriage, resentful. My resentfulness. I won't go into the details of that, but it boils down to that. And anger and resentment. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And of course, this last Sunday was Easter, and that is the perfect illustration of the perfect love, God's love for the world, that he went to the cross and that he went through that beating and the cross and death and then the resurrection. It is the illustration of the perfect love. He loves us so perfectly. But he does love us so perfectly that he gives us enough rope to hang ourselves as well. And we can very much, but like I mentioned yesterday, he very much tells us in the book, where my Bible is at, back here, he tells us right here many times where we're going wrong. And today we don't even want to tell people where they're going wrong because we feel like we can't possibly upset them or offend them. Offending someone is like the greatest sin of all. Sometimes we have to be honest. Love is honest. He doesn't say that there, but love needs to be honest. And if there's no honesty in love, there can be no trust, and there can be no faith in one another. So we need to be truthful. We need to be honest. We need to be loving to one another. We need to be patient and kind. I mean, it tells it right there, folks. And as I often talk about verses that get us. Human beings, we read these verses and we relate it to our relationship with other human beings as well as our relationship with God. Many times people are resentful with God or boastful or arrogant. They think that they are God. There's a lot of arrogance, people thinking they are God today, that they have the capacity to do something that is something that God has ordained, but we can override God. That's arrogance. But a lot of times we all fall short, is the point taken, or the point I'm trying to make. We feel that stab as we read that because we're convicted by those words, but we're not condemned by those words. The only way we're condemned is if we don't repent and turn around. can be convicted. Conviction and condemnation are two different things. Remember that. The words convict us. Only we condemn ourselves. If you find yourself distanced from God, it's you is to blame, not God. God has given you every opportunity to turn around and come back. Right up to the very end, the literal 12th hour, you have the every option up until that clock strikes that final tick, and you shuffle off this mortal coil and go to your judgment seat. Please don't wait that long. Please don't put it off to the last minute. Please get right with God. Please love God. Please love each other. I think I'm going to leave it for there. We'll pick up from there. I didn't read the beginning of verse 8, but I think this is one of the things when they break up chapters and verses, that wasn't that way when it was written. The beginning of chapter or of verse 8 is love never ends. And that's the part we cling to often in funerals, is that love that one person had for us, and that love that we have for that person never ends. The love that God has for you never ends. The love that you should have for God should never end also. So please, love each other, love God. Have a blessed night. Be a blessing to someone today. Come back tomorrow. If you enjoy these devotions, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you back again. Excuse me. Feel free to share as well. We'd love to have you do that. Make a kind comment if you want. Take care. God bless. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care.